hard to do anything right now.
All right. We
This doesn't
are
really-
officially live. It's delayed, or delayed a little bit, because that's the way these live things work.
And how's it like?
So, we are live.
Can we see comments? Right here.
Oh, go live.
2 live crew.
So we're streaming and we're recording,
There, now we're
and
on.
we are live. There's comments.
Oh, my phone just buzzed that you're live.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. About 10-second delay.
Yeah, we are delayed quite a bit.
You want a drink?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
I don't have anything to drink it out of.
Well, can't we just pass that around?
Hi, Bidlack.
You can put it in this.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, that'd be all that's left. Hey, guys. We're live. Yeah, we're delayed. So the live is delayed here, but that's okay. We thought we would come on. You guys are watching this. Tony Bidlack said hello. Hi, Tony. We are wearing our protective masks for everyone. Can you guys hear us okay? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. I'm sure you
Hey,
can.
Logan.
Hi, guys. All right. Look at that. We have 11 people watching us now, including
I have my
ourselves.
tongue sticking out of you.
Hey, Warrant's family.
Okay, I gotta get rid of this mask.
No, you have to leave it on.
Not taking this mask off. Turning it into a. What do you call
A
it?
wet wipe.
Bandana.
Yep. A bandana.
Hey, Joanne. She was just live with me in my last meeting. She was.
COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Welcome back, guys. We're a little delayed, meaning the video and you guys saying hi and everything is delayed. So if we say hi at an awkward time, like 10 seconds after you type your thing there, that's because it's delayed. So you guys will be all right. You'll figure it out.
Right. Or we will.
Because
Or
the
we will.
Facebook
One
police
of
are
the two.
watching us, making sure we're
the
not
camera
doing
watching.
anything illegal.
That's right. We can't do anything wrong or any of that. And if we continues to look down at the computer when you're
But
actually
everybody's
right
up there.
We'll get through that as well. So, my name's Matt. I'm going to turn it over to Eric and Debbie. I'm just going to sit here and smile
And drink.
and do nothing for the rest of the hour or whatever time. Somebody was kind enough to bring me a bottle of my favorite tequila, of which I've drank half so far.
Which is why you're in such a good mood tonight.
right.
Hey, does anybody else want to put a countdown on their phone that counts down the days and hours and seconds
Do it.
until Tuesday morning at 5 a.m.?
That's right.
What happens at 5 a.m.?
I am so ready.
We open.
So ready.
At 5 a.m., are you sure?
Heck
5 a.m.
yeah, we are.
That seems a little early.
So how do we got to, somebody do that. Somebody figure out how to make a timer.
Yeah, how do you do one of those countdown
Yeah,
things?
do a countdown timer for 5 a.m. Hi, Justin. Kaylee, what's up, dude? Yeah,
Awesome.
do a countdown somehow.
Yeah. So tonight, you guys, we're jumping on to try to explain what's going to happen over the course of the next week, and then once we open, what you're going to expect over the course of the next few weeks as we open to this. So be patient as if we haven't been patient enough already, but we do have to be a little bit overly cautious in everything here to try to make sure that we keep you all as safe as possible. So here we go.
Yes. So here we are. She just pointed to where I was supposed to start talking.
You talk now.
So now I'm going to
Stop
talk
drinking.
I'm going to stop drinking. All right, so I think we said this when we went on Facebook Live the first time, like next Monday will be 10 weeks ago. So we're in week 9 of officially being closed down. So if you remember, 9 weeks ago last night is when we had to go on Facebook Live the last time and say, we don't know how we're going to navigate. We don't know what's coming. What we do know is we're going to make mistakes. That's still part of human life. So, right away, if we've upset you through this 9 weeks somehow, or we're going to upset you somehow going forward, we apologize right up front, but we are as new to this as you guys are. So bear with us as we go through this. What we do know is we've got some guidelines that were given to us by the state, which the cool thing about that, through that whole process of the state saying, hey, how are we going to reopen the state of Ohio from manufacturing to non-essential jobs to gyms to healthcare, they created boards, advisory boards. We were fortunate enough to know several of those individuals that were on the advisory board that were actually CrossFit owners. So fellow owners like us, fellow CrossFitters that helped design and create the guidelines that we all have to follow. So from our perspective, we're setting really, really good from a reopening because we were able to set forth some of those guidelines, and we carry strict guidelines anyway. Forget the shutdown or forget the social distancing, COVID. We got to check in all that stuff we have today. So they were able to write those guidelines that benefited us. Some of I'll say at the 24-hour locations probably aren't going to be as fortunate as it comes to following the guidelines as we are. So we're in a really good spot. We thought originally that they were going to kind of really clamp down on how many people you could have in a class setting. There were some notions several weeks ago that you couldn't even have a class. Like there was no class setting allowed, and that all went by the wayside. So we've got some guidelines we're going to go through here, but keep in mind, we're going to make mistakes. Like you're going to come in and you're probably going to see something that, hey, you're not following the guidelines, or hey, that athlete's not doing what he or she's supposed to be doing. Listen, that's going to happen. It's human nature to fail. Just give us the willingness to correct those mistakes and work with us as we work with those athletes as we go through. Right. That's the most important thing, I think.
And give each other grace, give us all grace, give us reminders as you see. You guys call me out right now. I'm a hugger. So I'm going to hug everybody as I walk through the door until you remind me, stop. So we're going to have to remind each other. Before we get into the guidelines, we want to stop and just say thank you. Number one, for all of you who helped our sanity during this time. For those of you who have jumped on Zoom with us, whether it's one time or whether it's every time, for those of you who is, that person who is our anonymous tracker for our at-home challenges, who willingly took this on and came to us and said, hey, I want to navigate this for you to keep everybody connected. To those of you who have sent random texts to say, hey, how's it going? What do you need? To those of you who came and picked up equipment so that you could maintain your fitness at home. Every single one of those things that you guys did helped us keep our sanity and energy here and our motivation. It helped us validate what we do here for you. So we want to say thank you for hanging on with us during this time. We know it's not easy. We know a lot of you, or some of you, had to put memberships on hold, and that wasn't your choice. None of this was anybody's choice. So we just want to say thank you for being part of our family and sticking with us this whole thing.
Yep. That's good. I mean, we are truly a family. One of the things I just noticed, you're going to say, well, you're not social distancing, you're not 6 feet apart. You're right. And if you look at the family setting, we've, from the group that's been up here through this whole 10 weeks, we've spent hours and days here doing things like being cleanly, cleaning the box from top to bottom, and just a whole ton of stuff. So our families directly have been involved in that. We've had some of our coaches come in and pitch a hand. So literally for the last 9 weeks, 9.5 weeks, there's probably 10 of us that have lived life every day right here, doing the things that we needed to do to prepare to make sure you guys are safe when you come back.
There are some surprises.
Yeah, there are some surprises. It's really cool. So we're excited about that. So should we read through the safe operating practices, kind of the SOPs?
Yeah.
Should we go through that? Talk about what needs to happen when you guys come in, and how we're going to handling those. We put together reopening guidelines that we sent to the community health director, number one here in Mercer County. We've also sent these guidelines to Jared Ebbing, who is the community development director. Both have read through them.
Right.
We tackled this several weeks ago in prep for this, knowing as the inside group knew that we were going to open, let's get prepared, let's make sure we've got everything outlined well in advance, and we've been able to do that.
Right.
So these are not guidelines that we just come up with. We've been working on these for several weeks.
Right.
We've had them reviewed by our county commissioners and team, and then also by the state when they released what we need
And
to
these
do.
are going to go out to you in an email, so if you have questions over any of them, please reach out to us with any questions or concerns that you have. These also will be posted in here, and don't be surprised if within the first few days back here, you hear them once or twice from the coaches as well, just because we all have to navigate this together and make sure that we're covered
And
in
if,
this.
if it gets annoying, sorry. It's just we have to make sure that we're doing all the right things. Even though Governor DeWine did take the order word off today, and now it's strongly, or what is it, highly discouraged, or it's no longer in order. So obviously that's positive news for every business. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing for gyms and for even youth sports and all that stuff.
Everything.
So
Yep. Schools,
Awesome.
schools, and everything else, right?
Cool.
Yeah, I think to Eric and Debbie's point, both is when we say this is common sense, like it should be common sense. You know, I was raised by my grandparents for the most part, my dad, and most of these, be smart, common sense stuff was taught to me when I was young.
Right.
Right. Now, did I listen to all of them? Probably not. But
Do
I'm
we
sure
hope
going
you
to.
do? Yes.
We're going to now.
Please.
Yeah. So, yeah, we apologize, but when it comes to reiterating in every class these guidelines, we don't apologize. Sorry.
Right.
Get over
Right.
it.
So the number one thing you guys have heard 50,000 times a day, if you're sick, stay home.
Common sense.
If you have symptoms of COVID, stay home. If you've been exposed to somebody who's tested positive, stay home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. We listened to a podcast, or not a podcast, but a release by one of our good friends, Jason Firestein, in Columbus here last week, and he's like, hey guys, we shouldn't have to tell this, but if you're sick, you should not come to the gym, nor
Why
should
not?
you go to work, nor should you go to school or be out in the public, COVID or not, right?
Right.
I mean, that's just common practice and common knowledge, so do the right thing there for
Right.
us. Yep.
Right. You will see signs on the doors and throughout the facility just reminding you to stay safe distance, social distance, clean up after yourselves, all of those things. Some of those things that will be included is screening people at the door. So if you think about it before you walk out the door, take your temperature. If not, you'll be
She's
shot
dead.
when you walk in the door.
Yep.
By the coach. So the coach and only the coach will take the thermometer and will shoot each person, and the coach will wipe that sucker down before and after he or she takes each person's temperature. So
and it's non-contact, so that's good. It's just a forehead scanner.
Yep.
As accurate as that may be, I don't know. It came from our good friends in China. So
That's right. Where all the
Thank
other
you.
scanners
Yeah.
come from.
So I just wiped it down, coaches, whatever. Make sure.
Yep.
Common sense.
Yep.
Do what we need to do to stay open.
That's right.
you just touched it with your hands.
I wiped it down.
Okay, just checking.
I got
Kind of
all
like
of
the
my-
girl who's like,
I got all
keep
of
your
my
hands
hands.
to yourself and don't touch your face, and then she licked and turned the page. Okay, just checking. All right. Okay, we've had a lot of questions as far as do we have to limit class size? And our answer
Yeah.
to that,
Is no. So that was the first thing that came out of what everyone initially thought. Hey, you're going to be limited to 10 people,
Right.
or you're going to be limited to 12. And that is not the case. So it's based on the square foot of the facility that you're operating in. And inside of that square foot, you have to allow everyone that 6-foot radius. It's a radius. You're in the center of the radius, draw a circle 6 foot around you. That's what you have to maintain. So you're limited by the space that you have and keeping people 6 foot apart.
Right.
Right. So for an example, they gave, if you have a 1,200 square foot facility, you could have better than 10 people or 12 people working out there, because
Right.
you could still have those 12 people and a coach or more inside of that space and be 6 foot apart. So that's a part of what we've been preparing for here, by marking grids on the floor.
Yes.
You'll see that when you come in. So we do have a grid system on the floor. We will have sanitation inside of those grids. But again, it goes back to common sense. CrossFit, COVID, or anything, you're not going to work out on the person right next to you. You're not going to take a bar 45 pounds overhead, right, with somebody that's in that area where you could throw it on top of them. That's just not, we wouldn't do that normally. You're not going to do it again. We're just going to mark it out so you know where you're at
Right.
on the floor, and respect that space. Stay in your own space, if you will, for the most part, but stay 6 foot away from the person next to you.
Right.
So we won't limit class. We don't need to.
With the space that we have in here, we can adequately fit everybody in. When it's nice, take advantage of it. You guys go outside like we normally do and
Yep.
spread out even further.
Yep. I think the math works out. We did the math one day in here with Derek Hammersfelder's help, because he's an engineer way smarter than us. Thanks, Derek. With the square foot of floor spacing that we have where you could work out in that 6x8 area, I think there was 70 plus athletes. We'll never have 70 athletes in a class, nor
Yeah.
would we want to, unless we have multiple coaches, right? So we're good on that spacing.
Right.
wise.
Keeping that in mind, we don't have to limit class size, but we do have to limit everybody hanging out together before and after class. So I know that we've got 9.5 weeks of catching up to do. However, we can't stand here with people we haven't been around and
Yep.
non-social distance with them while we catch up. We do have to make sure that we're not just hanging out and socializing afterwards, unless we want to do it 6 feet apart.
Yeah, one of the things that was in the order was like, for us to efficiently open, we can't have a lost and found. We're supposed to take all the chairs and anywhere to encourage people hanging out. We're supposed to take those out. Yeah, we're going to take them out.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah.
Common sense, guys.
Yeah.
You'll see a couch. It's still here. If there's 2 people sitting on the couch, they're probably not 6 foot apart.
And
measure
we
your couch at home.
will have to make sure they get wiped down and
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you get done with your workout, you're sweaty, and you just want to sit and talk for a second, and you sit on a chair. Wipe it down.
That's
Common
right.
sense, people.
Yep.
Common
Yep.
sense. No one wants your butt sweat.
That's right. Especially if you have the door open and it's summertime, you want to congregate and hang out. Walk outside. There's plenty of space out there. Just
Right.
social distance, 6 feet apart. Catch up with your livelihood.
Okay. Couple things to remember as you're walking in the door. Coaches, especially as you get here and weather permits, we're going to try to keep the door open so we're not all grabbing the door handle, opening and closing. Please use your Box Command app on your phone to check in. We're not going to be able to use the iPad and the computer for everyone to check in. If you have problems getting on to Box Command, let us know. I know I got a message from somebody the other night, said, I'm still working on it. My phone's jacked up. I'll see what I can do. So that is a must. Coaches will be sticking to making sure everyone checks in for every single class. Worst case scenario, one of our athletes comes down, tests positive for COVID. What we have to do then is we need to go back and do that contact tracing to see who that person came in contact with. So you must check in every class, and you need to do that on your own device as you're walking in the door before you walk in the door.
Or
Yep.
coaches will, obviously, they're going to encourage you, and if you haven't checked in, the coach will be the only one that will be able to check it in. I mean, I know we've done that in the past. It's just we've already done things like this. So just common sense, people.
That's right. The coaches will be required to do roll call before they start class. So don't be the individual when they shoot roll call out and you're standing there and your name's not called. Don't be that person, right?
Right.
Again, it's our ability to stay open. And if we don't do that, and there would be a case that come through, like at work or anywhere, it's the same thing at Crown, and we don't have that social tracking ability, that's a big no-no, right?
Right.
That's the opportunity for the local government, for Mercer County, to step in and say, hey, we got to close your business down because you're not following the common sense guidelines that we've created. So don't put yourself in that situation.
Absolutely. And as we said earlier, you will see when you come in that there's a grid on the floor, and we will be doing our best to remind you to stay every other grid and keep all of your equipment in there. When you walk in Tuesday, Wednesday, your first day back, you're going to see each of those squares in the grid will have its own spray and paper towels. What we're asking and expecting everyone to do is wipe down their equipment before they use it and wipe it down again after they use it.
Yep. Wipe it down when you get there, wipe it down when you go home.
Right.
It's pretty simple. Yep.
Okay.
We'll be also, working through normal cleanliness that we would do anyway, as we go through the week. We're still going to be handling that. We're still going to be sanitizing the floor like we do anyway. But the equipment itself has to be taken care of.
And sharing equipment, like if we have anything with cardio, you have your own bike, you have to use that bike, even though it has a fan on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we're going to pull the bikes. If you're using a bike, which we're going to have bike workouts, it'll be all right, Debbie. So we're going to pull those bikes. You'll pull those bikes into your area there, right? So you can keep it there. It's the fan's blowing on you,
Right.
Right? So we'll keep those 6 foot apart. But you're going to use that bike for your workout, and then we'll wipe it down and put it back.
even warm-ups.
Yeah,
Like you got to
exactly.
make sure you use the same thing every single time. And is it ridiculous? Yeah, but do we have to do it? Yes. we
We're
do.
back in the door, so it's okay to be ridiculous
Yep.
right now.
That's right.
exactly right.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Cool. The other thing you got to look at too is when you come in, you got to wash your hands. So we have a restroom, we have sanitizer stuff out there. You got to wash your hands when you come in. It'd be a good idea to wash your hands when you leave. Again, can we police that when you get out of here? That's on you, but it's common sense.
Right.
Wash them when you do your workout. Wash them when you leave.
Right.
Be simple.
Bring your own puke bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's not what this is.
That's not what that is.
So I want to address the chalk situation. So we've always supplied chalk in chunks and powder or whatever, which is fine. However, it is written in our guidelines that we cannot share chalk bucket because you're touching it, whatever. So, baggies. Some people use baggies for other reasons, but we're going to use it for chalk.
Yep.
And we're going to have chalk, break off a chunk of it, put it in your bag. Use a Sharpie. I had one sitting here. Use a Sharpie. We have a couple here. Make sure it's wiped off first and wiped off afterwards. But write your name on your bag so it's your bag, all right? Unfortunately, that's the new normal. We got to do it. And
Yep.
we're going to police it. Also, our towels that we've always supplied, sorry, we can't supply them anymore. That's another thing in the guideline. If you want to bring your own towel, fine. Again, write your name on it. My sweat towel. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
But we cannot supply towels, and if we do, there's all these stupid guidelines we have to follow. We have to have a soiled bin and a clean bin, and we all have. It's ridiculous. So
Yep.
just bring your own towel and bring it home with you. Okay. And at least for now, until we can figure out if this is.
Yep. How
Yeah.
long
How
till this
long.
goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. It's common sense stuff, right?
Right. All right. Many of you came in on that Monday and checked out equipment and brought it home. So we need it back before Tuesday morning. So what's going to happen is either in this thread or on a separate thread and in your email, hopefully tonight, you are going to get a link to a Google form where you sign up to bring your equipment back. So the way this is going to work is Thursday from 12 to 5 and Friday from 12 to 7, we are doing equipment collection. If those times don't work out, please message me and I'll figure out another time for you. The reason we have to have you do this is because number one, we don't want 15 people showing up at once with equipment. You're going to notice on the Google form, there's a limit of 2 people per time slot. So if you pick a time and it tells you that it's filled, that's why it's not working. So pick another time. If none of those times work with you, again, message me. What's going to happen is you're going to pull up to the garage door and we're going to help you unload your equipment right at the front of the gym. That's it for you. Well, I take that back. That's all you have to do right there to unload. We're going to check it in. We have the contracts that everybody signed, so we're going to check everything off that you've brought back just to make sure that we've cross-checked and we're not missing something out there. Once that's done, you're free to go. we will have coaches here with us who will be disinfecting that equipment as it comes in. So even if you clean it at home, which is fantastic, we have to disinfect it again as soon as it gets in our door, and then we put it in the proper place so it's ready for you on Tuesday. So we want to try to get all the equipment back Thursday and Friday so that we have the weekend to disinfect everything, get it in its proper place, and get it ready to be used on Tuesday by everybody.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
We're on the
Alright.
back side of our page. Equipment return, yep, we've got that. So the back side, we covered the sweat towels, the chalk. Kids classes, we're not going to have kids classes right out of the gate. We're going to try to have our own classes, right? For the adults, we're going to schedule those just like we would normally schedule all of our classes. So classes resume as normally scheduled, I should say it that way. But no kids classes right away. Now we want to incorporate the kids classes once we get control of the adults first. Then we'll get control of the kids. Hopefully the adults are easier to tame than what the kids are, right? So bear with us. But the easier you make this transition for us, the quicker we can have kids classes come back in. So we've got some really cool stuff for the kids.
Yep.
Really cool changes for the kids and kids classes. So we want to use that area, but we want to make sure that we're socially responsible first. Let's get our adults in here, make sure we can cover our practices and how we need to go about business the right way, and then invite the kids to come back in from there.
So
right?
along that same lines, because of this and trying to keep kids socially distanced in here would be like almost impossible. So what we are not going to be able to do right now is we cannot provide babysitting for the kids during the evening classes like we have in the past.
Yep.
We're going to ask at this time, if at all possible, please don't bring your kids. We hate the fact that we have to say that out loud because you guys know we love having your kids in here.
Yep.
We love the community and the family that we are here. But for now, for their safety and the safety of everyone else, we're going to say keep the kids at home. A lot of the kids haven't been around, other members and other kids. And so we just want to be cautious, at least for now.
Yep. Yeah. And the kids thing falls into a whole nother bucket of requirements by the state and all of that stuff. So it's really just not possible for us to do that, to provide babysitting for children when you're in here, at least not right now. So
Right. Yeah. So the first thing that got asked at my house when I immediately texted the boys and said, hey, May 26th we open. And within 5 seconds, Grant said, that's the day after Murph.
That's right.
That's illegal in CrossFit. How can that happen? How can we not have Murph?
Because DeWine didn't want to have to do Murph.
yeah, I think you did that on purpose.
So several of you have reached out and said, hey, when I come back, I'm not quite exactly where I was physically 9.5 months ago, or 9.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Somebody even said, can my first workout be 10 burpees and 10 calories on a bike? And that's it, because I've kind of regressed a little bit. So we're not going to do Murph on Tuesday when you come back in. So everybody take a deep breath.
We're doing it Wednesday. No,
That's right. First thing
We are going to do Murph. We're hopefully tentatively planning to do it for the Saturday after we open on the 30th. So we're going to wait and see what the weather's going to be, how things go, but that's our tentative plan. We will have more details coming out for that. Just like always when we do Murph, you can do it on your own, you can do it with a partner, you can do it with a team, break it up however you want. Depending on what you've done the last 9.5 weeks, you got to figure out for yourself what's going to be best for you to do.
Yep. And we'll figure out that social distancing. I know when you look at like our rig, when you come in, you're like, gosh, if we have 30 people come in to do Murph and we only have so many spots on our rig, we'll fix that between now and then. Just trust us. We may have that fixed already. But when you come in, we'll have enough space for you to do your own pull-ups at your own station, even if we have to kind of, what would you call it, stagger start that whole group. So we'll get that figured out.
Maybe even they could probably do some things outside.
Yeah, they
too.
could do some things
Yeah,
outside
that would
potentially. We'll get that figured out. Just bear with us there. So we'll try to have that on the 30th so we can all celebrate and do Murph together as a group.
Right.
Now, if you want to do that at home on your own, on Memorial Day, have at it. Please do it. That's the spirit of it. But if you want to do that with a group and you want to do it here with us as a family, then we'll do it on the 30th.
Awesome. Okay, so again, classes will begin next Tuesday with our 5 a.m. class. So classes, the normal set schedule will resume on Tuesday. Couple of reminders with that. We are not going to have open gym right now. So if you guys remember, for a few months before we had to shut down, we had open gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:30. That will no longer exist. We will not have class on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:30. Did I say that enough?
Yeah.
Don't come Tuesday and Thursday at 4:30. Nobody's going to be here. Also, 3 o'clock is going to be reserved for our Exploring Horizons kids. So some of you have joined in the past with our Exploring Horizons kids who come over after school at 3 p.m. Last summer, we had them join us for the 9 a.m. class. But what we're working on with the judge and the probation officers is, in order to have those kids come back in here, we have to make sure that we're trying to keep them around as few people as possible. So we're going to reserve the 3 o'clock time for only the Exploring Horizons class and the coach and the probation officers, no one else. So unfortunately at this time, that class is going to be off limits to our general public.
Yep, that's right. One of the things that I just thought of, and we can talk about this during our safe operating practices, if you will, but we all started with our masks
Yes.
on. Joking but not joking, right? Follow the guidelines that you need to when you visit other locations. You're not required to wear a mask here. Obviously, it's a
Unless it's
workout
an elevation
facility.
mask.
Yeah, unless it's an elevation mask and you're Barry Peel, then you can wear an elevation mask when you work out. We are also not requiring our coaches to wear masks. It's in our best interest from a coaching perspective to be able to verbally talk to you and verbally tell you what you're doing or not doing correctly, right? It's crucial for us to be able to, since we can't come alongside and tactile touch you to move you in a position, we got to be able to communicate properly. And if a mask prevents that proper communication, that's a problem. And right in the state guidelines, it states if your operating premise requires your employees not to wear a mask because of safety concerns, then they shouldn't wear a mask. And we're not going to wear a mask.
No.
First and foremost. So please know that when you come in, you're not going to see people, at least our coaching staff, with a mask on
Right.
as they work out. And honestly, if you're coming in with a mask to work out, I would highly discourage that. That's not the norm. That's not what we expect here. Again, if it's an elevation mask or something like that, I was making fun of Coach Beal, then yeah, we can talk about that on the side. But, let's all it's common sense, guys. Let's be smart
Right.
about it.
Right. 2 other things we forgot as we were going through everything. With class time, I do want to let my boot campers know we will start boot camp on Wednesday. So Tuesday is regular opening day. Boot camp resumes on Wednesday, and that again will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. from here on out as well.
I have something too that we forgot.
Good, because I forgot. I didn't cross my fingers.
The Zoom is still going to resume.
Yes.
Boom.
Temporarily.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing the Zoom
Yeah.
at 5:30. We're still going to have the class time, obviously, at 5:30. But there are a few people that have some existing
Yeah.
issues, health issues.
Asthmatic issues.
Yeah.
and so
So,
on.
and they had asked if we will still continue to do that for those members, and yes, we will. Again, it's this is for you guys. It's not
That's
for
right.
us.
Yep.
We're here for you guys, and we want to offer as many things as we can to you to make sure that we can get back to our routine.
And while I
right.
lost the vote to take out the bikes, Matt won the vote that we're not allowed to use the fans.
Those noisemakers are gone. Well, they're not
Temporarily.
gone. They're-
Temporarily
they're still-
only.
they're still here.
Temporarily. We can use the exhaust fan, but the massive fans that we need to breathe,
Yeah.
they're taking them away.
Yeah, no fans. Sorry, guys.
But we do have doors we can open
Yeah, we do
for
have doors.
circulation, and we could probably take the fan and pull air out
Yeah, we could probably push
and-
air out
at the back of the
doors.
room.
Somebody just gave the crying emoji. I
Yeah, I
don't know
know.
who it was, but
Yeah,
somebody agrees
somebody-
with me.
Yeah, sorry, guys. No fans. They're gone. No, they're actually here, but you just can't turn them on. You can look at them.
That's state guideline. That's
Yeah.
not. It's not anything that we want. Obviously,
Yeah.
we want fans. Matt doesn't, but
I know. But no, that's not our guideline. It's what the state said we couldn't have.
Awesome.
So we go ahead.
It was Ken's.
Oh, it's Ken's. Sorry,
She's
Ken's.
crying with me. Thanks, Ken's. I feel the love.
You'll be all right.
I'll have a Jack's Pizza.
That's right. From a coaching perspective or a coaching staff perspective, You guys all know Austin. Coach Austin is coming back. He's
Yes.
spending the summer with us. He's not going back to Columbus. We had lost Austin last year because him going back to school and then needing to stay down there full time. So now with everything going online and whatnot, he has decided to stay here. He wants to train. He wants to coach with us. That's because he loves us. So we are super excited to have Austin back for the rest of the summer and then into whatever happens next year with college and all of that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
We do have an addition to the staff that some of you guys knew before we left, but Dee Dee Hoffman has decided to come on board.
Yeah.
She is a level 2 CrossFit coach. She also has her Olympic weightlifting certification as well.
And she lifts more than me.
Yeah, and she's
Isn't she
stronger.
ranked like something?
Yeah, so ranked. Let's talk about that. She finished. Now that we're not having the CrossFit Games for the age online qualifiers, she finished 3rd in the world
so cool.
at the CrossFit Games. So that's her official spot, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
Bronze medal.
Bronze medal, 3rd in the 2020 CrossFit Games for her age bracket. And I won't say what her age bracket is, but she's pretty damn proud to be a 50-year-old and still kicking everyone else's
We
butt
love
in
you,
here.
Dee Dee. We're
Very
super,
humble and just
Yeah.
what an amazing person.
We're super excited that she's chosen to come on board here and join our CrossFit family and join our staff. If you guys have worked out with her, you know how amazing she is, and we're
Yep.
just beyond excited to add her to the staff.
Yeah, so that's good for us, good for everyone there. All sports program. So as you guys know, every summer we work with the school district here in Salina and bring their athletes through 3 days a week, typically in the mornings we go through a rotation. So there's a lot of stipulations that we don't have to get into, but there's a lot of stipulations that the state has put down on schools, athletic associations, high school coaches, and all of that. What we're doing is working with our district here, all of the head coaches, which we have one here with us, on starting that program up outside of the school. Like Eric probably, he really can't even talk about it right now because that's the requirement of the state.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
We can discuss it. We can still like give workouts for kids, but
Yeah.
we can't organize them.
Yeah, can't
You know,
organize them,
that-
can't be here, can't coach them,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. The contact of
Yes,
the
no
coach.
contact.
Yep. So we are going to do that and facilitate that for the kids. Now that's open to anyone. We always say Salinas District. You guys know that we work with St. Mary's Wrestlers. We've done that last year. For the last 2 years, we worked with St. Mary's Wrestlers. Last year, they won the WBL for the first time in 40 plus years. And
Awesome.
if you talk to their coach, he says a lot of that is because the athletes that come in here are just better now. So that's cool. So what we're going to do is try to restart that program. We have our coaching staff. We'll have that at separate times so it doesn't interfere with the 9 o'clock. If you remember last year, it kind of ran into and through the
Right.
9 o'clock class. That's just not the right thing to do anymore. So we'll schedule that time so it's not in the middle of that 9 o'clock class, so we can still keep that social distancing, but also give those athletes an opportunity to come in and prepare for their next year, whatever that
and
looks
that's
like.
still in the works. We're still trying
Right.
to figure things out with the athletic director and things
Yeah.
like that.
So if you have a child and you're like, wait a minute, I haven't heard about that, it's because details haven't been released. We're
That's
still
right.
figuring them out.
Yep.
Starting the 26th, where the low contact sports are allowed to start doing things again. So it's amazing how many kids are now in these sports. But-
Yeah, that's
and it's
right.
okay.
Yeah, every kid wants to be a part of something now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So that's cool. Okay, we said a lot. Let's leave a couple of minutes here. If you guys have any questions, please shoot those out now. The cool thing about what I've looked at, through the last 9 weeks and just watching different CrossFit affiliates, across the globe, a lot of them have said, hey, this shutdown's been rough on us, but we've got new members coming in that were never CrossFitters before. And in part, that was because those existing athletes were doing workouts in their garage or in their front yard, or so. And we've got two of those athletes for sure. One's starting here with us next week, Karen,
Yeah.
that has been working out with Logan and Hannah every day from the very get-go. I think they missed the very first Zoom.
Right.
And the next one, Logan's like, hey, I've got a friend coming over. She's a neighbor, saw us working out. She'd like to join. Now she's a CrossFitter. So that's
right.
really cool.
That's right.
Yep. We've had a good friend of mine, Matt Bettarini, through this whole process. He's like, hey, how do I get in shape when this ends? Come on into CrossFit. So he was bugging me already, sending me a note about, hey, when can I start? So the cool thing about this, and I posted this out to our coaches the other day, is I'm tired of apologizing for when somebody says, what do you do? And I say, we do CrossFit, and you got to explain yourself. We're CrossFitters here. And the difference between us and everywhere else, we're here to help cure chronic disease. So I'm going to stand on a podium as loud as I can yell that, especially now coming off this pandemic or this epidemic that affects people the most that are afflicted with chronic disease. What better way to fix that? Get off the couch, eat properly, even if that means walking in the door and just walking through a warm-up your day one, perfect. That's all I want you to do. But it's time to take, and stop saying sorry for being CrossFitters. It's time to say, listen, we've got the ability to help you gain a better life and be healthier for the long run. Let us help you with that, right? Don't apologize for that. Right. So it's time to get in here. It's time to promote it. It's not time to hide or be shy about, how do you work out? I do this thing yet. No, I'm a CrossFitter.
Right.
And we cure chronic disease. Plain and simple. That's it.
Right.
And I'm ready to make that charge. So sorry for getting fired up and getting on my my little perch here.
What Matt's getting to is those of you who have had friends who are like, I should be doing something. This is when everybody's walking through the door for the first time. Everybody, all of us, we're walking through the door for the first time on Tuesday. Grab someone who has never, ever walked through our doors and bring them. Obviously, get them in contact with us ahead of time so that we can set them up for that intro session. But you guys, people who have never worked out before are seeing the importance of getting into a gym. Matt and I do a lot of reading of different affiliate owners and their stories through this whole process. And one, I don't know if you saw it today, but one of them asked, have any of your athletes tested positive for COVID? And I don't remember where the guy was from, but he said, I had an athlete who tested positive, and his doctor literally said to him, you barely had any symptoms or any issues with this because of your health. CrossFit literally saved your life.
Yep. And we're all afflicted by the coronavirus differently if you were to get it, right? So we're all not going to be grouped into that same bucket, but step aside, put that aside for a minute. If you've got type 2 diabetes, there's a reason for that, right? Unfortunately, this disease affects those that are heavily overweight and have some type of a breathing problem. That can be fixed. It can be fixed with proper nutrition, doctor's help, and a proper exercise routine. We can overcome that. It may not be overnight. It may take some people years.
And discipline.
But we can help you with some of those chronic disease issues. Just give us a chance and let us work through that.
Right.
And at least you can live a longer, healthier life to be with your grandkids and your kids and so on and so forth. So, sorry I'm preaching again. Just tired of hiding around that fact. So let's have at it. Anyone have any questions? There was one question here that I have to answer. And the question was by Jen. Hi, Jenny. Yes, this is Clase Azul Reposado. Thank you from a dear friend that is now becoming a member.
That's right.
That's
Matt's
right.
gift on a bad day.
On a bad day.
He walked out of the office tonight and I'm like, hey, you've got a gift. And he had just shoved me off. Like, I tried to give him the gift earlier and he's like, I'm on a call. And he came back and he's like, I'm sorry, it's just been a really bad day.
Been a really
I said,
bad day.
Then I think you need to open this.
Yeah.
And it turned into a good day.
Yeah.
And you haven't even drank any.
And I haven't drank any yet. But it's not over.
And one thing I was just looking through my notes. What'd you say?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I went over some of the things about like the chairs and whatever, but one of the things that I forgot, changing rooms. Well, obviously we're still going to have those. There's still going to be common areas. We'll still clean those, just normal. I mean, that's fine if you're bringing your stuff. make sure you put it in your bag and take it out. And lockers. I'm guilty of it. Whenever I work out, I hang my gloves or whatever on my locker. I can't do that anymore. I get it. Okay, I'll stop. But we got to make sure that we can't have things like that in the lockers.
Yeah.
I can't. Can I share?
There's spots for you to put stuff.
Yeah.
Put them away.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a place
stuff.
for everything, and everything's going to go in its place.
Yep.
And
There you go.
it's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Awesome.
We'll get through it.
Hey, and we're down to the last few days of the challenge. So those of you who have entered into the second challenge, let's make sure we're finishing that strong. You guys are going to get your CrossFit hats when we're done with that. And then everybody who completed both of the challenges, remember your name is going to go into the drawing for that speed rope too.
That's
So
right.
let's not forget about that.
That's right. Does anyone have any other questions? We had up to, 30 plus people watching. We've got 24 now or 23. I think we're through all of this stuff. Pay attention to your Facebook posts. You're going to see pictures. You saw a picture today. If you saw it early, you saw some cool stuff. So watch those pictures as we populate those. We are
Welcome,
super
EJ.
excited. We're super excited
A little
to
late.
to show you everything that we've got cleaned up here.
Yeah,
So,
we made a few changes.
we've cleaned a lot.
Yeah, it's really clean
Yep.
and open.
Open, clean.
Well, we're not open yet. We've got a few days yet, but it's clean
So,
for cleans
anyone?
and jerks.
Any questions from the peanut crowd, peanut gallery? Thanks, guys, for watching this. It
Yeah.
went a little longer than what we thought, but,
But EJ joined us finally.
that's
so
right. Hi,
we were
EJ.
just waiting.
We were waiting for EJ to get on. Now we're out.
Sheila. So yeah, again, guys, reach out if you've got questions. Be looking for the link to be posted tonight for you to sign up to bring your equipment back too. And again, if those times don't work, let us know. Matt's ready to drink, so I guess we're gonna go.
Hey, EJ, look. Nice bottle. I'm going to share that with you today. Maybe tonight if you're around.
Awesome. Oh, it's Taco
Okay.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Taco
Ah,
Tuesday.
that's where he's been
why
at.
he's late.
He's
Yeah.
been tacoing it.
All right, guys, I think that's it. This will be, you can obviously go back and watch this recording. If you need to, online, it'll be there. And I think you're going to put it on the Facebook.
Yep.
Or the
I'm gonna email
YouTube,
it. Yeah.
our YouTube
So
page.
bear with us with that. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but
Yep.
that'll be emailed out.
Okay?
Okay.
That's it.
See you
Thanks,
Tuesday
guys.
morning.
Peace.
See ya.
EJ says yummy tequila.